I've okay, so the drama about this has been fairly far-reaching. I don't know about the particulars. I'm going to go over them here, I guess. Um, Project Veritas um, apparently is exposed misbehavior on the part of somebody who works for the Bernie Sanders campaign. I don't know, guys. Who? So you know this more than I do. Who is this person exactly? Is this person a staffer, a volunteer? Is it Bernie Sanders himself? What? Who? What? Where in the organizational hierarchy do they fall? Um, or I guess you can let me know as I go over the video. Project Veritas is a known bullshit manufacturer. They have absolutely manipulated evidence before. When they were doing that, I remember specifically when they were doing their Planned Parenthood segment. They were confronting somebody who worked at a Planned Parenthood or some government worker, and they deliberately they manipulated the footage to misrepresent the context of the conversation. The problem is when you're doing exposés, when you're exposing information, it is extremely important that you act with as little journalistic or editorial bias as possible. Because when you act with bias, it is very possible for people to get the impression that you are impartially delivering information when in reality you are just essentially disseminating propaganda. So apparently there are two links that I've been given here. Let's see, they're both from James O'Keefe, who is one of the people who works with Project Veritas. I wanna give it a look, okay? I want to see because I'm curious. You know, I'm genuinely curious. So here we've got one from January 15. This one's from January 14. So there are two. Let's give it a look, folks. 2.7 million views on this tweet. 2.7 million. So it's getting around, you know. Let's see. But the actual video footage here, I'll get rid of my camera for a sec. The actual video footage seems to be from October. No, not October. September of the past year. So this is what, 4 months dated? 4.5 months dated, I'd say. Let's see. This is a breaking Bernie Sanders education policies. Yeah, this is a Bernie Sanders worker, volunteer apparently.
So if Trump gets reelected, what?
Cities burn.
Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Do you even think that some of these like MAGA people could even be re-educated?
All right, I want to point out, if you're trying to do journalism, it's probably not a great idea to preempt your exposure with these ridiculous, like Hollywood block, like TMZ style, text block introductory title screen. You know, it's a little weird. It makes it feeling like you're not revealing anything. Yeah, so this seems like a hidden camera. Judging from the way the camera is angled, this looks like it was a private conversation that was discreetly recorded. That's my impression.
I mean, we gotta try. I mean, like in Nazi Germany, after the fall of the Nazi Party.
Kyle Jurek. So Kyle Jurek is their name. Just a field organizer. Oh, holy shit. Apparently Kyle Jurek was arrested on January 8th. Violation of probation, possession of drug paraphernalia, failure to provide proof of financial liability, as well as operating while intoxicated. His second offense. So apparently this guy, is a no-go in both directions. Truly an anti-establishment type, you know. The only evidence that I'm seeing of this person's arrest, so far I see something from Breitbart. I see something from the National File, which seems to be using the same language as the Breitbart article. So let's see. Bernie staffer released on bail. Here we go. Okay. No, this is from the Pluralist. Sure are a lot of right-wing organizations that are eager to publish this particular piece of information. TheGatewayPundit.com. We're going on a journey here. I should share it with you guys. Iowa field director bailed him out of jail after recent arrest. Were campaign funds used to bail him out? I don't know. That's immaterial to what we're talking about right now. But hey, here's a really quick question. But hey, really quick piece of info. Hey guys, if a news article ever has a title with a question in it, the answer to the question is no. So if the question is, were campaign funds used to bail him out? The answer to the question is no. No evidence suggests that. Because if there was evidence of it, they would just say so in the title, because that would have gotten them more views. Just pointing that out. Anytime the question gets asked, the answer is no. Just a good. Here's Washington Times. Sanders camp mum on pro-Gulag staffer. Says Iowans don't care about political gossip. Fair, true. For the most part, I think. Jesus Christ. This is not exactly an unbiased website. Yeah, I can't see any. I assume everyone's reporting on it. I assume he really was arrested. I was just interested in seeing. So he was just a Bernie campaigner. Seems like he was a Bernie campaigner who got arrested for stuff unrelated to the campaign. But this is well before his arrest.
There was a shit ton of the populace that was Nazified. I mean, like, Germany had to spend billions of dollars re-educating people to not be Nazis. Like, we're probably going to have to do the same thing here.
Wait, what is the issue here? What is the issue here? So the issue just seems to be him saying that if people are Nazis, we should re-educate them to not be Nazis? Is this the expose? Is that it? Oh, well, I mean, we can go further. Like, let's see.
And that's kind of what Bernie's like, hey, free education for everybody, because we're going to have to teach you not to be a Nazi. There's a reason Joseph...
So I can see that. Okay, so before we get to the next thing, I can see where that last segment, like frills some hairs, upsets some people, because the implication there, and that was a dumb thing to say, and the implication there is that the reason why Bernie Sanders wants free education for all is so that everyone can go to fucking re-education camps or something, which is a really dumb way to frame it. In reality, free education means everyone has access to the opportunities that will allow them to realize why Nazism is fucking stupid, which is a reason why, you know, the more highly educated you are, the more likely you are to be left-leaning. There's a reason for that, you know. It's not because of propaganda, just the facts are biased in favor of our, you know, narrative. Sorry about that. Sorry if it upsets anyone, just seems to be the case. And access to educational opportunities will intrinsically decrease the amount of far-right conservatism in the country. I mean, have you ever like seen the types who go to those KKK rallies? We're not exactly talking, you know, master's students here, though the modern alt-right is a little bit more clean-cut, a little more online. Whatever the case may be, I can see how the framing there is a little bit sus, but the sentiment is perfectly fine. The sentiment of this, however...
Stalin had gulags, right? Mm-hmm. And actually, gulags were a lot better than like what like the CIA has.
This, however,
like people were actually paid a living wage in gulags. They had conjugal visits in gulags.
Oh wait, okay, hold on. Again, we have to criticize Project Veritas. We have to criticize Project Veritas for their editorializing. Listen to the music in the background.
Gulags. They had conjugal visits in gulags. Gulags were actually meant for like re-education. Greatest.
You hear that? It sounds like a horror movie where you're being where the villain is doing like their like unhinged speech. You know what I mean?
Way to break a billionaire of their like privilege and their idea that they're superior. Go out and break rocks for 12 hours a day. You're now a working class person. And
I would like to... Can you not move the fucking... Jesus Christ, fine, I'll be right here if you're going to move the fucking subtitles on the top and the bottom. I would like to make it known. I officially disavow this gulag revisionist horseshit. The gulags were detention centers for political opponents of the state, gay people, everyone else fucking Stalin, the other leaders didn't like. They were horrible, horrible places. They were human rights violation factories and a black mark on the already incredibly shaky legacy of the USSR. The best way to deal with political opponents of a state is not to send them to fucking concentration camps, which is what gulags are. I mean, don't, you know, that is literally what they are. So fuck that, and fuck this guy, by the way, for defending this.
You're gonna learn what that means, right?
Bernie doesn't get the nomination, or it goes to the second round at the DNC convention. Milwaukee will burn.
Wait, what's wrong with this? Trump supporters say this shit all the time. Not a day goes by without me seeing somebody on Twitter, some fucking MAGA hat, saying, yeah, man, if Trump doesn't win, if Trump gets impeached by Lion Pelosi, fucking America's gonna burn. I've got my gun. I'm ready. They're not ready for the Civil War. They do this all the fucking time. The difference is Trump supporters actually fucking do it. Because most of the terrorist deaths that happen in this country, over the past couple of years have been from, extreme right-wingers. So the difference is they actually do it, but this is shit I hear from Trump supporters all the fucking time.
It'll start in Milwaukee, and then when the police push back on that, and other cities will.
This is literally identical to like Trumper rhetoric there. It's just populist revolutionary rhetoric. People do it all the time. Trumpers do it. Project Veritas has people who work for them who have done this rhetoric.
Calling for the elimination of people based on race or gender or religious, for whatever reason.
Wait, Kyle Jurek, field organizer, Sanders campaign? I thought he was just a volunteer. No. Okay. Wait. No, this says it's from Breitbart. Hold on. Yeah, does field organizer just mean like volunteer? It is a hired position. Okay, so field organizer doesn't mean like he was in charge of other people. Yeah, it can mean basically anything. That's true. There are a lot of weird language being used here. A Bernie Sanders campaign operative. That's a little bit like what the fuck does that mean? Field organizer. I don't see any evidence suggesting that he was in control of other people. It seems like he was just doing his own thing. Okay, I just clear up because when I think of field organizer, I think of someone who is organizing.
Like things that people can't change, then you should expect a violent reaction.
Trump supporters say that shit all the time. You gonna keep pushing back on the white man? You gonna keep hurting us? We're hitting us where it hurts with his gay crap in our movies? You really surprised we fight back? Like they do this shit all the fucking time. I hear this every fucking day. Every fucking day I go online.
And you deserve a violent reaction.
Be ready to be in Milwaukee for the DNC convention. We're going to make 1978 look like a Girl Scout cookout. The cops are going to be the ones that are getting beaten in Milwaukee.
Yeah, this is literally Trump rhetoric. Not Trump. No. This is literally Trump rhetoric. Yeah. This is it. That was it. It's just, I mean, it's horrible optics. Like, he should, like, guys, just to be perfectly clear, whether or not we believe in, like, destroying the state or whatever, a Bernie Sanders campaign worker should never say this shit, ever. Trump says worse shit, and MAGA hats say this shit all the time, and the idea that this is some, like, startling expose into Bernie Sanders' campaign is fucking ridiculous. What this probably means is that the Project Veritas guys heard that one of the Bernie Sanders volunteers was a smidge on the unhinged side, And they just work their way in, got a camera over, just wait a little bit, wait for the opportune moment. This person, Kyle Jurek, does not seem to be particularly discriminate when it comes to sharing his radical political views. I say radical political shit all the time. You will notice that I am not, in fact, working for the Bernie Sanders campaign or the campaign of any other politicians I am in favor of. I never will. My optics would be terrible for a political campaign. So that was literally nothing. Somebody who works for Bernie Sanders' campaign uses language identical to average Trump supporter, comma, defends gulags. Like, okay. And this is apparently the same fucking guy?
Anarcho-communist. So, like, I'm as far to the left as you can possibly get. Yeah, and in fact, there's, that I know of, 4 of the organizers in this office are leftists. So Justin, me, Derek, Danielle, Jessica are all definitely further left than Democrats.
I wonder who he's saying this to, if he feels comfortable giving the names of the people who are further left. That's a really fucking stupid thing to do. If you're engaging in like hard left rhetoric for a center left campaign, which Bernie Sanders runs, and then you're giving the names of the people you work with who are also hard left, this guy's a fucking moron. Leave the politics aside. This guy's a fucking idiot. The only legitimate excuse would be if Project Veritas did like deep covert intel and like planted someone there 6 months in advance, and like this person like honeypotted fucking the guy and like fucked him, and like this is him deliriously saying this in a post-nut like haze, like cum still dripping off the Project Veritas like workers' lips. That's the only legitimate excuse, because this is not good.
If you can't handle me at my most communist, then you don't deserve me at my most anarchist.
The fuck does that mean?
There's a lot of me's in the Bernie campaign.
Like, that was the intention of
Oh, see, now we're doing the flash cutting. See, this is where Project Veritas pretends that they're journalists when cutting between individual sentences that were spoken in different locations at different points in time is the literal opposite of presenting information in an unbiased way. This is an insane level of editorial bias. So when he says there are tons of me in the Bernie Sanders campaign, for one, his word isn't evidence of anything, period. But for two, when he says that, he probably means leftists, which, yeah, no shit, there are leftists in the Bernie Sanders campaign. Wow. Nicely done with that psyop. You nailed it. You found it out. But what they're trying to imply is that when he says there are many of us in the Bernie Sanders campaign, what he means is like gulag, like violent, gulag defending, re-education camp establishing, anti-free speech, Stalinist super soldiers. That's the implication. It's not substantiated by the available evidence, but you've got the spooky music, you've got the jump cut, To a sufficiently stupid person, this sounds like a reasonable threat.
Of gulags, right? It's like not only to remove the people that were like insidious to the state from the state, like, hey, you guys are all causing problems, you're like working against the revolution, we're just going to remove you and put you in Siberia where you learn the value of like being a comrade.
I thoroughly disavow this horse shit. This person cannot possibly call themselves an anarchist. Yeah, anarcho-communist. By the way, did you know the gulags were actually much better than people say? Nah, fuck that. Value of being a comrade? Fucking communist societies aren't a fucking cult. The value of... And you go into your room and do hard labor for 10 years, and when you come out, you'll learn the value of being a citizen? The fuck do you mean? Anarchism is about reducing unjust hierarchy. How can you possibly reconcile that with the belief that the state should be able to force political prisoners into concentration camps until their minds break and they come out and become good little citizens? Nah, fuck that. Nah. He means gulag for Nazis? I don't give a fuck. Don't give the state the power to determine who is its enemy, because the state will choose Nazis and the state will also choose anarchists, which is one of the reasons why fucking Stalin had all the anarchists killed.
Like, I mean, and that's like, that's what it has to be. Like, our prisons in the United States right now are far worse
far worse than anything that they experienced in.
That is not fucking true. No, American prisons are really fucking bad. That is not true, though. Holy shit, that is not true. Shut the fuck up. I can't stand it. If I worked in an office with this guy, I'd get really fucking mad at him, too. But again, my distaste for this person's politics have nothing to do with the narrative that Project Veritas is trying to dishonestly sell.
Like, people get raped. People fucking work 12 hours a day. People have to go fight fires in California for $1. You know what I mean? Like that.
Do you think? Wait. People got raped in gulags. People worked 12-hour days in gulags. Like, all the time. Do you think that didn't happen?
$1. You know what I mean? Like, that up. That's super.
Yeah.
Soviet Union didn't do that.
The Soviet Union literally sent gays to concentration camp. Nah, fuck this guy. No, this isn't based. This is only cringe. This isn't based. And so is Project Veritas, by the way. Very, very cringe, and not based. Just like...
I've met him a few times. I met him at an event with Rose, and we were talking about policy and stuff.
Yeah, he's fabulous. Yeah, he's fabulous. Yeah, he's fabulous.
Holy shit, Project Veritas, that's it? You talk to a coworker of him, and she's like, yeah, he's good. And that's the journalism. Fucking journalism, dude. The triple cut.
And we were talking about policy and stuff.
Yeah, he's fabulous. Yeah, he's fabulous. Yeah, he's fabulous.
That's it. That's literally all they have. To prove there's some grand conspiracy of gulag-loving Stalinists in the Bernie Sanders campaign. Stay tuned as we find another person who says that they mildly enjoyed his company. Oh shit! Oh shit! This is how journalism works. This is how journalism works when you treat it like a fucking TMZ op-ed being live fed to you. Part 2 at 12 p.m. Exposed 2020. Is there more to this? What? I have to sign up? I'm not signing up for your shitty website. Get the fuck out of my face. Yeah, you can take my credit card number. Any other videos of this? Oh shit, this is from 9 minutes ago. How much of this drivel are they pushing? This is from 23 hours ago? This is from the 16th. This is also from the 16th. What is this? You already wait. This was already there. This was already in a different video. What about this?
I think that he's a legit socialist masquerading as a democratic socialist. I think that a lot of the things that he's suggesting and moving forward takes us further than democratic socialism.
Like
but
what?
He masquerades it.
I mean, and? Also, by the way, again, I really need to point this out. If you're working for the Bernie Sanders campaign, saying he's masquerading his policies, this is unbelievably stupid. I'm glad this guy got arrested.
We had the climate summit with Naomi Klein and AOC.
Is the whole thing just them following this one person? Is this it? This is the entire fucking Project Veritas expose, is they found one stupid tanky with a loud fucking mouth? That's it?
Warren campaign people show up. One.
And they found so far we have one person. Why did this guy get arrested? Apparently got arrested for like parole violation or something like that.
But a woman, you like someone, you're like, what can you do?
Is this
Senior
dude?
Advisor.
Is this like? Did I say erected? Is this like co-Intel Pro? Like this guy is being so forward with everything. They're at like different bars and shit. Who the fuck? I can only assume the journalist like fucked this guy or something because we're getting like extensive.
weakness that Bernie has is what can he do? But he really wants. That's what.
It's just one dude. That's it. No evidence whatsoever of internal misbehavior. No evidence of some broader conspiracy. They literally just found like one dude. Field organizers are literally in charge of recruiting and facilitating volunteers who canvass at phone bank, campaigning 101 dude. Yeah, I've canvassed before, and I was called a field organizer, and all I did there was fucking stand outside of a Walgreens with a clipboard asking people questions. Sometimes they put me in front of the Trader Joe's, okay? I've done it before. Field organizing means whatever the fuck that chapter wants it to mean, okay? I don't know what his specific like level of authority is or organization. Even if he was in control of like training other people, that doesn't mean he's giving them fucking like black ops Stalin like intel covert program propaganda pieces, you know?
Employing.
Yeah, exactly. They give you fancy job titles because it increases the likelihood of you getting employment after you're done doing canvassing work. I was a field organizer once, and I was just going door to door talking to potential supporters and taking data. I did that too, exactly. What you're organizing is the data in that context. What is the Bernie Sanders campaign?
He's still employed? Do we have reason to believe he was bailed out with campaign funds? Is the Bernie Sanders campaign still...
Here's the part where they just chase down people.
Vosh
Stalinism doesn't exist. Also, Gulag was the agency that ran Soviet prisons, not prisons themselves. Nice meme, my dude. You can come back in a month after you've been re-educated. I'm re-educating you. I'm sending you to the Gulag of YouTube chat. Okay? And you can reflect on your stupid shit. Your dumbass fucking statements.
Kyle Urich? Are there other radicals like Kyle? What about
on the campaign?
What about beating police in Milwaukee? Will cities burn?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Nice. Nice adding memes into your journalism.
He tweeted they don't care about political gossip. Is violence against proponents of free speech, is that just political gossip? You guys don't take that seriously on the campaign? We just want to know, is he still employed?
Misty, what are you guys hiding? The electorate needs to know. Does Kyle still work for the campaign, yes or no?
What is it? Wait, you're supposed to play that music after somebody fucked up. She didn't do anything, she just kept walking. Gotta add the meme humor in, to really sell. This from 14 minutes ago, too. They really just put this out. This whole video, every video is stay tuned for the next one. Stay tuned for either a video that's recut footage from previous videos, or stay tuned for a new video that adds literally nothing. Oh, she's got a clown nose here, see? Because she didn't answer the questions. And all they're doing is chasing her down, asking for information, because one of the thousands of people who work for Bernie Sanders' campaign, A, engaged in rhetoric that is comparable to the average Trump supporters, and B, like, defended gulags. Is there evidence that the campaign funds were used to bail him out of prison? What evidence? Is there any evidence of this? Jurek is still on the campaign. Wait, why are you asking her if he's still on the campaign if you have the answer to this? Do you? Maybe he just hasn't been fired yet. It's been like 5 days. Of what relevance is that? Let's see if we can find some evidence. Let's see if we can find some real evidence from an actual news site. Okay, let's see. Gateway Pundit, National File, M Greatness, Pacific Pundit, Pluralist, the DC Patriot, Lent Conservador, Washington Times, Let's go with Washington Time. None of these are real sites, by the way. If you search for something and Gab is anywhere near the front page, that's another good argument. That's another good argument that you probably shouldn't be too concerned with the validity. Oh, we got InfoWars down here. Campaign funds used to bail out Bernie Sanders field director after drug arrest? Question mark? Interesting. Again, even if campaign funds were used to bail him out, that's a bad thing, and that's a fuck up, and people should absolutely be fired over that. That's bad. It doesn't have anything to do with Bernie Sanders, but that's bad. Not denying that. Sure would be nice, though, if they provided any evidence for their claim before all of the garbage basement conspiratorial far-right news sites start running this because they're following in Daddy Veritas's footsteps. Let's see, what's the evidence being provided here? Jarek, the star of the latest expose, outed that Trump supporters and billionaires should be sent to Soviet-style gulags for re-education if Bernie wins the presidency. Interesting. Not mentioning the fact that in the context of re-education, he was specifically talking about Nazis. No, gotta leave that one out. Wouldn't want to alienate any of the people who enjoy InfoWars content. He also has a well-documented history of run-ins with law enforcement. Yeah, we know. Yeah, here's a screenshot from his criminal record, which has nothing to do with this accusation right here. We're just asking if campaign funds were used. Yep, he was arrested. Yep, he was arrested. Yep. Now footage released by Project Veritas's James O'Keefe reveals Bernie Sanders campaign workers bailed Jurek out of jail. We didn't see any footage indicating that the campaign workers were the ones who bailed him out. Here we go. Okay, so assuming they're not lying here. In the undercover video, Jurek tells a story about getting arrested for possession of marijuana and says he called a fellow Sanders worker from jail who told him, "Don't say another word, we already processed your bail, just sit tight." Did the Sanders campaign worker pay out of pocket, or does the "we" he referred to mean campaign funds were used? So there's no evidence whatsoever. So there's literally nothing. There's not even circumstantial evidence. It's literally just he had friends in the campaign and his friends bailed him out. This has literally nothing to do with the campaign. 100% speculation. But hey, that's what journalism is to Project Veritas, you know? Fake news people who would fail the journalistic standards of any actual organization, except CNN. Fuck you. Fuck you, Elizabeth Warren. Desperately trying to, prove their relevance on Twitter, of all places, because that is the only place that will accept their drivel. Okay, cool. That's fun. Always fun. So it was nothing. So all of this was nothing, basically.